A man is washing a car when he accidentally splashes water on a woman. She gets angry with him and starts to curse the man for having wet her. He apologizes and says he didn't mean to get her wet. She then recognizes the man. He says it's been a long time since he's seen her. She then starts laughing at the man, as he had gone to a very expensive college to end up becoming a car washer. He then tries to explain the situation to the woman, but she says that they went to the same college and she was now married to a very rich man. He then congratulates the woman and says he is happy for her, but tries to explain the situation again, but she says she already understood. He had gone to a very expensive college, but ended up becoming a car washer and poor. He says he wouldn't have any problems if he was a car washer, as that was a very dignified profession. She then ironizes the man and says what a worthy profession was that of her rich husband, who at that moment was in a meeting with a man even richer than him so that he could become even richer in the future. He then says that unlike his wife, he was overjoyed by her husband's success. The woman then says that the man was jealous of her husband, as he was clearly very poor as he didn't have expensive clothes or an expensive haircut. She then says that she knows what the man's problem is, that he was hungry. Then she says that she will give him her food so that he can have his first meal of the day, because she was a very good person. Then she opens the lunchbox and throws the food at the man. She then laughs at the man and tells him to never get in her way again. This leaves the man thinking about how the woman had changed and what he could have done for him to treat him that way. Sometime later, the man is at a restaurant when the woman appears and starts insulting him. He says he didn't need to treat him that way. She then tells him that he didn't have the money to be in a place like that and that he was supposed to leave. He says the woman shouldn't judge people by their appearance, but she says she can't help it as it was clear the man was very poor. The man then says he doesn't want to mess with the woman, he was just there to talk to the owner of the restaurant and that the woman was already crossing the line. She says she wouldn't give him alms, because the owner of that restaurant was his husband and he wouldn't talk to someone like the man. He says he didn't mind that the owner of the restaurant was her husband and that he would wait for him there. She then tells the man to leave as he was not rich enough to talk to her husband. He then says that the woman clearly doesn't know why he's there, but the woman says she does. He was there to wash her husband's car, because that's all he knew how to do. He then asks the woman to leave him alone and says he doesn't want any trouble, but the woman says that he will leave and that he would call the manager to kick him out. The woman then tells the manager to get that man out of the restaurant as he didn't have enough money to be there. She then asks the man to leave. He says he expects different treatment from a manager and that he was there for a scheduled meeting with the owner. The woman then says that he had no appointment with her husband and asks the manager to remove the man from the restaurant. The manager then asks the man to leave, but the owner arrives and asks what was going on there, because he was listening to them scream from inside. The owner then greets the man and asks if everything was all right with him. The man says that he had just arrived, but that he was not well, because the owner's wife was treating him very badly and he did not know why. The owner then tells his employee to go as he would resolve the situation with his boss. Hearing that the man was her husband's boss, the woman is surprised. Her husband then explains that the very rich businessman he had spoken to was the man and that he was there because he was interested in investing in his restaurant. He then agrees and says that he was really interested in investing in the woman's husband's restaurant. She then becomes embarrassed and apologizes to the man for her behavior. The man then apologizes to the owner of the restaurant and says that although he was very interested in investing in the restaurant, he had lost that interest due to what happened. The woman then asks the man to reconsider the partnership with her husband as he was not at fault. Her husband then says that she has never done that before and apologizes for both of them to the man and asks him to reconsider. The man says he was very saddened by what happened, but that the woman's husband's apology was sincere, so he might reconsider the investment. He says his partner was very excited to be able to invest in the restaurant and he would be sad if it didn't happen. The woman's husband then tells his wife that the man would need a sincere apology from her and that it was for her to do it then and there. She says that the man didn't deserve her to treat him that way and that she didn't imagine he was the great businessman that her husband had told her about. She says she realizes now that she is no better than anyone else and cannot treat others that way and apologizes to the man. The man then says that a request for forgiveness cannot be denied and that he would forgive her, as they had known each other for a long time. He says he doesn't know how the woman had become a person who treated people that way, but despite that, everything was fine now. The woman's husband then says that now that the two understood each other, if the partnership between them could happen. The man then says that he wants to see the restaurant first, but that it was very likely that he would.